All right, round two on the GMC Sonoma. Today we're going to wire in the brake switch to run the torque converter lockup. So the torque converter wants 12 volts to be able to lock. Now you set the tune when it locks and unlocks, blah, blah. If the computer wants 12 volts to be able to lock it, and then it wants you to take that 12 volts away to be able to unlock it. Now the brake switch works different. It wants 12 volts to turn the brake lights on, and then you take away the 12 volts and it turns the lights out when you're off the brake. But now if the torque converter is locked, when you hit the brakes and come to a stop, it'll kill the car. It'll just quit. So we need to wire in a relay, so when you hit the brakes, it takes the 12 volts away from the computer to unlock the torque converter, and that's what we're going to do today. And we got some relays up here. One's for the AC compressor. I took that one out. I kind of mixed these around so they're not in order. This one's for the brake switch. You can tell by the wires. See, it's got two white wires, a couple of black wires, blah blah. The blower motor has an orange wire, a purple, a blue, a red, and that goes over to this. Yeah, hey, Amazon's here. Purple fades, it turns blue. But that's the blower motor. That one is, and then this one's the starter. It's got red, black, and purple on it. Purple with the white. And then the other one was for the AC that I took out. Yeah, AC or cruise control. I believe it was AC. Not important. Not using either one of those. But now, you'll notice I got blue tape on this one. That is because that's the one that gets 12 volts to send to the brake lights. That's the one we're going to piggyback off of. So we're going to use that to switch our relay to take 12 volts to and away from the computer on this purple wire right here, per the instructions for our eBay harness. Alright, I've got 12 volts. I hit the brake and seen which one of these was 12 volts when the brakes are hit. I ran that one up here. It's I forget the numbers, but this is the way you look at it. Alright. And then this red one down at the bottom. Oh, and this side goes to ground. So these two energize it. Alright, when the brakes are hit, it's going to energize it. On the bottom I got red. And I got it from that pink block coming out right there. It's a keyed on power. The oranges are constant power. There's an orange and like 3 pinks. Down here there's also an orange. And those are constant power no matter what. And the pinks are key on power, so that's this red wire. That's the 30. And then the purple is the one that goes to the computer and feeds it 12 volts. Now when this relay is not energized, 12 volts is going to go from this red to this purple. Now when it energizes, 12 volts is going to go from this red to this one I got capped off. So when the brakes are hit, this is already going to be grounded. When the brakes are hit, 12 volts is going to come here, and it's going to send the 12 volts from this red up to here. And then the computer's not going to see 12 volts. But when the brakes ain't hit, 12 volts will go from this red to this purple, and then it'll know 12 volts tells this thing to turn the torque converter, unlock the torque converter. I just got to hook this ground wire up and it's done, and I'm just going to leave this up here until we get the front end on and figure out where we're going to mount it. I made some of these wires way too long, but that's okay because we can fold them over and put them in the wire loom. We're going to wire loom all that. But the starter wires go dangerously close down here. I don't know if you can see that or not. I accidentally turned the camera off while I was doing that. But yeah, they go dangerously close to the header down there. I don't know if you can see that good or not. Yeah, right there. So we're going to take those, we're going to bring those up. And we're going to run them down through here, and down through the main, where the main battery wire goes. I'm going to run those through there. That way, frees up a little bit of room. There's an oxygen sensor wire back there too. But that'll free up a little bit of room for the oxygen sensors whenever they put those in. Yes. So we'll lengthen those. That'll be pretty much it for the wiring. We can go ahead and start wiring looming all this stuff. I tried to do the serial data right. Fuel sensor. I tried to run the serial data from the one we had to this one down here, but it would connect in the vehicle, but as soon as I started the vehicle, it disconnected. So we'll probably just lengthen the wires of the one that we have and run it through there, take that one out, and then put that other one in. Just be easier. Or I could just run the wire straight over to it. We'll just run the wires longer and put the one that's with this in there. I don't even know where it went. It R-U-N-N-O-F-T. Run off. It's around here somewhere. Oh, there it is, way down there, hanging out. Yeah, we'll just, that's actually almost long enough. We'll just run it back through where that goes. Run it under the dash and bring it back over there so we can do it all inside the car rather than having to pop the hood, get out here, hook the computer up, blah, blah, blah. But this is just stock motor. Once we get it tuned once, it'll be done. But what if they want to pull codes or something? Yeah, we'll run it in there. All right. Only wire I got running down through there now, see if we can get in here, is the crank sensor wire. I got that reflective tape on it. Yeah, it clears by about a finger length. Hopefully it'll be okay. And then the that plug with the blue thing on it, that's the oxygen sensor. You got to run those. There's some. These pieces have to be bolted on, and the oxygen sensor goes there. So Joe's going to do the exhaust. He was here in the last video. All right. So after jacking around with the gauges and the oil, because we didn't get the oil pressure to work, we didn't get the engine coolant temp to work. So after jacking around with those a little bit, I figured out that the gauges work, and they work through ground. They're not a signal wire like what goes to the ECM. So that's why I couldn't piggyback off the coolant temp sensor to the gauge, because it's sending a reference voltage. Yeah. So those work through ground. So it has to be a sensor that reads through ground. Like for instance, the oil pressure will work because I took that wire and I grounded it straight out and the gauge moved around. So that's how I figured out it works, and it works through ground. So a one wire oil pressure sensor, like I think comes on the earlier LS ones. My truck might even have the one wire oil pressure sensor in it. I'm pretty sure it does, because I just changed that not too long ago. Maybe I'll go back and look at that video, because I changed that, I don't know, a couple years ago in my Sierra. It's got a 5.3 in it, but it's the one wire oil pressure sensor, and if you run that straight to the gauge wire that I showed you in the last video, that'll work. Now apparently on the coolant sensor, there's a couple different options. I guess you can take an oil pressure sensor or engine coolant temp sensor. You can take that works through ground, a one wire one, and put it in the other head and run it straight to that. Or you can get the LS1 style 3-wire coolant temp sensor. One goes to ground, one goes to the ECM, and then one goes to gauge for a ground reference. And that'll work. So that's your options on that. And I've already give Joe back the truck. They've took it back. They're going to do the exhaust and the drive shaft on it. And then once that gets done, I'm going to tune it some more. But if he buys the connector And the sensors for that, we're going to fix that. We'll revisit that and we'll fix that. But now I'm going to skip forward in this video because I made all these videos and I didn't have time to edit them where I've been working so much before Christmas and things get crazy where I work at. I haven't been able to make a video, so I made a video. I recorded all this and I threw it all in here. It wound up being an hour and 20 minutes long. I'm not going to post a video that long. So I'm just going to skip forward, putting the battery in, and then wiring up the fans, and this will be just like a wiring video, and then we'll do the core support, and then I'll do a video of putting the core support on, and then doing the putting the radiator in. Yeah, so let's get into the rest of the wiring the fans in and putting the battery in, because I had to move some wires around. I guess the battery goes right here. I was hoping it went over there, because that's where all the wires are. From, you know, a stock 5.3, like in a Silverado, Sierra, the battery goes over there. But, so we're going to have to lengthen those wires over here, which sucks. Which I guess the battery tray goes in here somewhere. I'm not 100% sure. That's the first time I've really worked on a S10 top vehicle. It's a Sonoma, but pretty much an S10 really. It's like the Sierra of the Silverado. Now I'm going to hook these up together, and then I'm going to run them to one relay. I looked, these are only 14 amp fans, so together they would be 28 amp, and the relay that we're going to use to run them is this one right here, and it's a 40 amp, so it should be okay to use one relay. And that relay got a fuse built into it. But yeah, we're going to go through power. So the red one, it says the numbers up here. It also says the numbers if you unplug it here, but this white, it won't kick on until power. This white and black, it won't kick on until power and ground. So any juice that comes in this red one's just going to be dead-ended. And then when you get power and ground on these, the black and white ones, it'll come out the blue one. And we're going to run the white one and the red one directly to power, because we're going to use the computer to kick it on, and the computer uses ground to kick the relay. So the relay will kick this ground wire, turn it on, and then send power out the blue one to the fans. And I've already took the fans and hooked them to the battery over there to make sure that they're going to suck instead of blow. And for them to suck, the way we've got them hooked up, we want them to suck. Blue is the power. So we're just going to cut that one the same. They had plugs on them. You would think that if they send it with a plug, they'd send it with the plug for the other side. But no, I'm not going to get the plugs. I'm just going to wire these two together and then wire it straight to the relay. It'd be a lot better if we could use the plugs, because if you want to take the radiator out, you'll have to cut the wires, but I don't have the male plug to that. I don't even know where to get one. It should have came with that, but I got some quick connects. Maybe we'll do some of the quick connects. I got some of those somewhere, I think. I'll check. Alright, so I had to put the battery over here, had to shorten some wires, had to break out the solder, because them little things I use over here, they're awesome, but they don't work on this big wire. So I'd cut and solder right here to make this shorter, because on the truck it comes down, around, and then over. Now we just need to come from the starter straight up to here, and then this wire goes to the alternator. Now we had a wire going across and down to the starter, but there's not a lot of room back there, so I just ran that off the power block over to the alternator. That's a power block. It's a stock power block. And we're going to piggyback off that power block to run our relays for our fans. We'll just run it over there and put the relay over there somewhere. And then the wire off the computer to trip the relay, we'll just bring down across through here. And I'll put the relays for the fans. The computer is going to kick this ground wire to kick the relay on. And then red power is going to go through. When the relay sees power and ground on the white and the black, it'll send it to this blue one. So that's going to go over to the fan. And then the fan side is just going to get grounded with this other ground down here. With that very bottom one, see, I sanded them off real good down there. That's how we're going to wire that in. Alright, got the relay for the fans all hooked up. Put a 30 amp fuse in it. I grounded it out. The fans kick on. They'll blow the way they should. That's cold. I don't know why they put that in there, but the stock ECM kicks it on with ground. So on that eBay harness, dark blue and dark green are the fans. Well, we wired two fans up on one relay, but we're going to run both of those wires as a failsafe to this wire, and we'll just make the tune exactly when the fans come on exactly the same. I think these stock have a 185, 186 thermostat in them. They run it like 190, 195 stock. So we're going to put a in the tune we'll put 190. Yeah, 190. It should run about 190, 195. As long as the radiator and these cheap fans are able to keep up with everything, it should. Alright, so I started it up, let it idle. Just woke up. I forgot to take a video of that, but fans kick on, the temp I had set in the tune, and just sitting there and idling forever. It maintained the temperature. Didn't get to drive it because I ain't got no drive shaft in it. So once it gets the exhaust and the drive shaft in it, then we'll be able to see, playing fetch with the dog. We'll be able to see, you know, if the torque converter lockup's going to work, and if it's going to stay cool. So y'all stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching.